Welcome back to the ESR. It's Puckett and Mr. X, and we're going over the 2K to start the show. We also have the 5K to talk about, and some special guests joining us today on the show.
Right, two special guests. We're going to have Parasite and Clayster on today.
Yeah.
I'll talk about, their weekends. Very eventful. Parasite making both finals with two different teams. Clearly shows he's factor.
Pretty solid stuff. So speaking of that first final that Parasite got to, let's take a look at the Prophecy run. Now, in our bracket, you'll see there's two squads to look out for. One of them is called Squad. Now,
Squad.
This one is made up of, let's open it up. This one is made up of Clayster, Ricky, Embos, and Parasite. Sorry, that's the Prof team. Then the Squad team, Attach Classic Replays, who is playing as KJAP and KJAP and JCap, who officially came over from Envy. The interesting part, basically, this is Denial, and instead of playing with Clayster, who also came over from Envy, they're playing with Classic. Ben was kind of relating it to the FaZe Red team, with Attach filling in instead of Proofy, if you guys remember back to COD Champs from Ghost. What do you think about this team? Why did they decide to go with Classic as a fourth on this Denial lineup?
That team had some success at COD Champs last year. They got top 6. I believe losing that match against T1 Daughters for top 6. So T1 Daughters got 5th, they got 6th. But they've seen some success with that lineup before. I think it's something that they kind of want to go back to. And Attach on this game is very good. I don't think Denial, when he was on there with Zuma and Saints, were really using him in the right role. He's not much of a support player as he was using. He's more of a Slayer, kind of let him go out and do his thing. And I think he fits that much better on this team. I think they did see some success. They played pretty good against this Prophecy lineup.
I like it. Sorry, standing up here. Let's talk about Attach, though. He looked phenomenal when playing with FaZe the week before. Very much that Slayer, when you just let him roam, he can dominate. Does the addition of JCap and Classic, does that change kind of the role for Attach on this Denial lineup?
No, it really doesn't, because you're going to have JCap playing a more slow, standstill AR Slayer type of position. And the Classic and Replays have such good chemistry together that they kind of do that support OBJ work as one. So they both kind of take turns of doing it. And then it frees up Attach to, play however he wants. He can run around and slay. He can, post up with an AR and slay. He can do multiple things. So I think this would be a very good fit for Attach.
So pretty interesting lineup. I was shocked when it first came together. Once Benson started talking and explaining, the FaZe Red history, I was like, all right, that makes a little bit more sense. Their road through the finals, let's take a peek at it here. Squad, of course, our number 3 seeded team. Denial, AK, they played ISO Lions, not a big deal there. Then they met up with the Stunner Boys. Now, the Stunner squad for this event was it was Slacked, Cuke, TJ Haley, and they're playing with Perplexed. They had the big upset over Rise the previous round, and then you see, really, they didn't have to match up against anyone other than that Stunner squad until they ran into Prophecy. Prophecy's road, though, even easier. Royalty here, then Echo, who beat up FaZe Red. And this was a bit of a surprise. Censor and Apathy playing with Legal and Fears. I expected them to at least get into the top 8. Instead, Echo pulling off the upset.
That was a big upset. You wouldn't expect Fears, Legal, Apathy, and Censor to finish that low, but that's a little surprising. That might have aided to why Fears and Legal were so, ambitious about going back to, quickly to go back to Vex and Perplexed.
So we know that team's not going to work out. Censor and Apathy, if you look at their Sunday roster, different. Not playing with Legal and Fears again. And I think that was something I said on the broadcast. Is like, if these teams sign up a second day together, they could be exploring making it a permanent squad. If they don't, not so much. But that takes us to the semifinal matchup. It was Denial versus Prophecy here. You can see squad versus team where the names they ended up playing. Pretty easy go for Prophecy. They make it into their finals against Optic Gaming. And this matchup really was kind of outclassed. We saw the dominance from Optic Gaming in the hard point. But in game number 2, Prophecy took the Search and Destroy 6-2. Pretty impressive performance here.
Absolutely. I think, though, you got to look at Parasite. I think Parasite and Ricky, two of the better S&D players. I would definitely say Parasite's in the top 3. I would say Slasher, Parasite, Crim6. I would say probably your top 3 S&D players right now. Has an insane first blood percentage, usually carries bomb, gets the bomb down. I mean, the guy does everything in Search and Destroy, so not much of a shocker. But, that game 4 uplink comeback, pretty good.
Pretty good matchup. So here it is, guys. The lineup that I think should stay together if possible. It was Embos, who's officially on the Prophecy lineup. You got Parasite and Ricky, both official members of the Prophecy lineup, playing with Clayster, who is officially on denial, but could be traded here before Wednesday, going up against the original Optic Gaming lineup. So here it is, Grand Finals, game number 4. Them absolutely dismantle their opponents in this game mode. Comeback uplink is something they always put on a show for.
Now, are you thinking that this is going to be similar?
Yep.
You are? Because they lost on this map earlier on today.
No, they crushed. They were down. They were down, and then they put up 20.
No, they did that, but in the map before that, they lost on comeback uplink too.
Really?
They've won and lost on this map today.
Okay. I think this one's another 20 point.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, they're on, what, good side, if you will. Again, I'm not convinced we should be calling it good side anymore. Good side, bad side. I think both sides kind of have their pluses and their negatives. It's just how you play them. Play last man alive.
Nate shot looking like Crim over there, but the satellite on the opposite side of the map. So you see nothing but blue in that kill feed. Scump's going to add another one. Players coming off a respawn, but not in time to stop Formal. 2-0 start here for Optic. And now they're going to be able to get into position to grab their second one. One player to stop. Formal's going to get the kill. They're getting the spawns they want, Ben.
Yep.
And they're definitely controlling this portion of the map. You talked about the importance of it earlier. Why is this side so crucial when you're playing from yellow?
When you're playing for yellow, you just want to make sure you're spawning your opponents out, and that was what you saw Formal do, right? So after Formal gets that 2-point play, immediately double jump, stuns Satellite spawn, because he was just making sure no one was spawning glass. There was no one sneakily, getting that favorable spawn. And the thing Optic do so well is, I'm going to bring up the minimap full. Watch this as it goes in, all right? So the satellite drone's going to go in immediately. Now this is just kills. Look for kills, win the gunfights, try and set up on a spawn trap. And those red arrows this time doing pretty well as Formal pulls there as well.
That was Ricky breaking out. Big 2-piece from Ricky. Parasite got the third.
Oh, you cannot.
Nade shot with the triple now.
Oh my lord. If he didn't have to reload, that's a 3-piece right there. But that drone's still down, and Nade shot feeling like Crim right now. Picks up the drone. Oh,
he still got it on the way down.
He still got it.
Heads up play, though, by Parasite coming off that spawn to EMPM.
That was really good play. But again, look at the way the Optic are kind of controlling that satellite drone respawn. Finally, play is going to overextend and wrap around from Prof. But 6-0 with 3 minutes left. Damage definitely being done here. And if Bose can try and throw that one for yards, which I think he tried to, but kind of failed a little bit there, but picks up a second kill. Bose, a man on a mission right now, trying to do everything for this Prof team.
Keep in mind, guys, the 10 score, you can mercy rule your opponent.
I love that about it.
If they get to 10, their opponents are going to have equal amount of time from the opposite side. And right now, it looks like that could be the pace. They could get to 10 before 2 minutes. So
this is key right now. So Formal has the drone. His teammates have all died, and he's just going to try and play a little bit of bait, wait for his teammates to come off spawn. He's put yards on the drone. So Scump now, if he can just go for a little bit of a juke, has some overclock left, also a stun grenade.
1-pointer?
Yeah, I think he has to play that smart. Yeah, he gets it. So now, knowing that you only need a 1-point play, you just go for kind of that TJ Haley.
Crim's been practicing this for weeks, man. Watch the jump toss. Unless there's an interception, this is the round. And
the beat down from Clay.
Punch from Clay. He read that one perfectly.
That was nasty. And it's important to note that's the only way he's stopping Crim there. Yeah. If he shoots, Crim's just going to double jump and he's going to get away.
Look at Clay. Not only the melee, he also gives himself some extra help before trying to push. Unfortunately, Scump is there at the top.
Go bottom mid. Oh, he's failed it.
And that's not a good toss, Scump.
That's
not a good result either. Embos and Clay picking up kills. Crim needs to go big on this corner. He does one. Second player goes for the toss, and that's going to make it a 9-1 game. Still potential for Optic to close it out. 90 seconds left here in the first side. And a nice job by this whole prop team stepping up their slaying. Is it too little, too late?
With a 9-1 lead, you really just want to see them just go bottom middle and throw over double wall like we just saw Scumpy fail when he tried to do it. But now this is perfect time, right? 4 players are down. Scumpy's going to pick up the drone. I would have loved to have seen him go bottom middle. He's double thought himself there. That could cost him if EMPs come in off spawn. But I think he should get that one. No, intercepted from Clay mid-map, but Scumpy hits him straight back. Can Scumpy get the play?
Yeah,
yes, he can. 3 minutes 59.
4 minutes.
Not the quickest we've ever seen, but ultimately you've knocked a minute off the clock.
Here's Scump with the kill and the toss.
He did well to throw that out in time.
Oh, yeah.
Because he literally was about to die.
Seriously, one of the scariest things on this map is Scumpy not scoring on his first toss. We saw him punish for the 2-pointer earlier. here. He gets the job done with the 1-point toss in. 10-1 is the advantage for Optic Gaming. This is match point. Prophecy, if they want that Game 5, the potential to take this 2K, they must clutch up right here, and they have 3 minutes, 48 seconds to do so.
Krem just trying to get some kills over towards glass side. Now, are they going to play for that drone? I think they may. Yep, Nade managed to just get away. And this is why he needs to just slow it down. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Are we seeing 4 Bals from Optic, by the way? I'm pretty sure all 4 members are running Bal.
Scump ASM1.
Okay, Scump sticking with the short range.
I think Nature, was he running? Yeah, he is.
Also saw it from Formal and Krim when you showed them, so that's what I was wondering. Are they playing defensively here with the 4 Bal?
Oh, Krim's pulled out ASM1
like,
as well.
all right, they're putting the aggression back on.
Yeah, I think you need to. You don't want to allow another team to come back into it as Krim almost picks up a 3-piece. Clay does have the drone, and
that's the second time Clay's been stopped on the opposing team's roof.
Did he get it out of bounds?
Yep.
He's actually played for a 12-seconder. I love that. The spots on the map where it doesn't automatically reset. Sneaky. It does have a little bit of an element to it, but what would be really cool is if they changed. If certain ones right now got patched to instant respawn and the new ones were added. I know it's not an intentional thing, or I imagine it is an intentional thing, but the way that the game is played now with so much strategy to it, kind of awesome to see. Not
going to happen. The meta's going to continue to improve as players learn it more and more. Clay boosting down, slowed him for a second, does force it through. So just a 7-point game. Really put that in perspective. It's a 4-possession game. If they get 4 dunks, though, they take the lead. We'll see if they can stay perfect here for Prophecy. So far, Optic has kind of been pretty slow, at least in the slaying.
Yeah, they've not really been able to get anything going on the second side, and it could cost them. Parasite last man up, though. He can just play this one kind of sneaky, and he's going to get 1 kill. Can he stay alive? No, he can't. He falls. Now, Optic Gaming could actually push this over towards green side, and that's a massive kill from Crimsix. You see that one in front of Formal, but Formal needs to just go for 1. Not able. In fact, no, he did release it. Gets the 1-point play.
All right.
Nice stuff. And there's only 1:49 left on the clock, of course, because Optic were able to end that game in 4 minutes. So time really ticking for this Prof team.
Now your 4-possession game is just to tie it. So not the best of situations for Prof fans. Long Ranger, that's not going to get much done.
Oh, that's so close.
Formal is going to come in and toss this one out. In fact, he's going to feel confident enough to push it left first. And that'll reset. He's got grenades on it perfectly. Ricky, you aren't going anywhere. Double stunned up in the corner.
I'm surprised that Formal did that. When you look at the map, they had complete green control. Formal could have just taken his time there with that one and just wrapped it around. Maybe even thrown it out over on the green side if he really wanted to throw it and bleed the clock. But hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them, because he definitely have potential for some points there.
60 seconds, Ben. Can they get 3 more dunks in?
No.
Bose is getting all kinds of stunts in his face. Formal, unfortunately, with a 2-piece. Clay answers back with 2 of his own, and Nadeshot responds with a double. Clay won't even be able to toss it. That is going to be thrown out. Nadeshot continuing to put the pressure on. He has 3 kills in that feed. And make it 4.
With Nadeshot pushing that as well, it forces this Prof team to spawn under the portal. So they're not going to get that glass spawn. Yep. They're further away from the satellite drone. It's going to take them a longer amount of time to push it, try and get control. Then, of course, you have to win the gunfights too. Just so much bleeding of the clock. And Optic Gaming just gonna secure this one with the drone being thrown, dropped on the floor. Krim has it, he throws it out of bounds, and that, Chris, is gonna be GG.
Give it up to Optic Gaming. They take another 2K while everyone else is trying to figure out the perfect roster to take them down. They sit happily on top with another big win. They don't let it get to Game 5, clutching up in all of the respawns as expected. 11-5, your final score of Uplink. They will take this 2K. All right, so pretty dominant performance again on comeback Uplink. That was not the first time we saw it in the tournament. No. Pretty good map for Optic so far in the 2Ks, 5Ks, but I was looking at a stat online from Season 1, and surprisingly, Ron, you can go ahead and cut to this.
Biolab's their best map.
Not only is Biolab their best map, this is their only map they have a losing record on. They're 2-3 overall, just 40% of their games from Season 1 are they victorious.
That kind of shocks me a bit. You'd expect them to be very good at comeback. I think what happened in that game against Prophecy was that Prophecy doesn't have enough players who can play at that fast speed, right, with that lineup. So you had Ricky and Clay, who both generally play a little bit slower. Same with Parasite. 2 AR players mostly with Ricky and Clay. It's very difficult on a map like Comeback to force that issue with one of them having to switch their playstyle completely to running a sub.
I do like the team that we see, though, from Prophecy. If they were able to win a CTF maybe, or even the hard point at the start of the game, I think they take Optic to a Game 5, and there they exploit Optic's weakness in Search if it exists. You know, it is their strongest game mode in Season 1, but we've also seen that kind of be their weakness.
I think the
6-2 was a pretty big statement by Prophecy in Game 2.
Right, I think Prophecy is one team that could take Optic in S&D. I think the game mode that you can really kind of not really take advantage of Optic on or win, I think is the CTF. If you can play, because CTF, you don't really have to force the issue in CTF. You can play a little bit slower and you can win. You don't have to outslay teams in CTF. If you play it the right way, you can win by getting outslayed. So I think that's a game mode that people in the future should really start, stacking up on and really learning and getting better on it if they want to beat Optic Gaming in one of these series.
Guys, we originally planned to have Parasite joining the show at this point. He is wrapping up some games right now with fans. As soon as he is finished, he'll be joining the show live. We'll be talking about not only his performance in the 2K, but also his 5K as well. We got a special treat at the end of the show. One of the best games of the day that we didn't get to in our coverage was FaZe versus Optic Gaming. Of course, the FaZe team we're talking about was Aches, Slasher, Enable, and Miracles on Saturday. They played Optic Gaming in Uplink on BioLab and, or excuse me,
Detroit.
I believe it was Detroit. Yeah, one of the best games we saw all day.
I watched that whole series, and, that first map, not that close. Second map, though, that's when the Aches fell off the map.
He just disappeared.
If Aches stays on that map, probably goes to around 11.
Yeah.
Toss up at that point. And then, obviously, that Detroit Uplink game, we'll see what happens there, but winnable games for FaZe.
Messed up in your search. We've seen that a couple times.
Yeah.
Players falling off in key positions. First it was Ricky. Now it's Aches.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll show you that Uplink FaZe versus Optic Gaming later. We should go, once again, credit Denial playing with Classic and JCap for the first time since that roster came together. These guys finished in the top 4. Also, the FaZe lineup, Aches in the top 4, facing off, only getting knocked out by Optic Gaming. So when we come back, though, we'll have that interview with Parasite, as well as starting to look forward at what went down in yesterday's 5K.